God's time is always the best. Focus on the future and live the rest. Life is a journey with so much obstacles, hardship, celebration, and special moment, but we must face them to experience happiness.
Once again, this is Legacy Production, a channel that inspires, motivates, and gives hope to everyone. And today we have an inspiring story from Daniel, who fought against all odds to make it in life. And with us here is his guardian, and he's ready to tell us the story about Daniel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, karibu sana.
Now, Adams Crispinus, yeah, so famous known as Chris Adams, huh? Yes. I'm Daniel's guardian. My main aim is to try to assist people, or rather young people, who are coming from backgrounds that basically, or rather historical backgrounds, with the challenges, and basically they have lost hope in life, so that at least they can get maybe a chance to redefine their future, because I believe that history cannot define one's future exactly. So irrespective of one's background, I have got a serious basically belief, or rather thought, that everybody is capable of doing something here on earth. It doesn't matter what you look like, your skin color, yeah, whether you have got all body parts, you are tall, you are short, you are what. I basically believe that everybody was born for a purpose. Daniel was born a very bright child, normal like any other, with lots of hope, but in a war-torn country that was in Sudan, within the Nubian mountains. And one day when he was taking care of cattle, the area was bombed, and many people lost their lives, including even the livestock. And he was actually left for dead based on the degree of injuries that were on his body.
Which was then in Sudan. Yeah, I refused to take the cows out, like for grazing. So my uncle had to beat me so hard. So I was very angry. Yeah, so I took the cattle to the. I went to graze the cows. Yeah, so it was 8 in the morning. Yeah, so I was just crying, seated there. So when the plane came, Antonov came and dropped 2 bombs. Yeah, then it cut my hands. One hand was completely cut. The other one was just there. Yeah, so it was only hands. It did not touch any part of my body. So it was hard for me to be taken to the hospital also. So I had to stay there until 8 evening. Yeah, so they had to look for a car to take me to the hospital. Yeah, so when I was taken to the hospital, I stayed in the hospital 6 years.
Now, after that, of course, there was a lot of hopelessness, because as we know, especially in the African society, even when mothers leave alone people who have been injured after they have been born, but children that are born with any form of disability, people do not look at them as children who are going to be blessed or who will bring blessings to families. But sometimes people even look at it like a bad omen. So you find that is the time even some of your family members want to distance themselves from you and things like that. Yeah, but at least for Daniel it was different, because at least he was able to get people at least who brought hope in his life. And that is basically what I'm trying to do, at least to bring that hope, to revive his dream. Yeah, because it's a time he had a dream of being a lawyer.
Being a lawyer, like I can't do things using my hands. I think being a lawyer it will be better because I will just
Talking.
yes.
So you prefer talking than doing with your hands?
Yes. I rap. Yeah, I also write my own lyrics. Yeah.
In 2016, November, That is the time he was brought to Kenya. And the main aim of bringing him was actually to get him a school, to put him in school. However, there was a serious challenge because after being brought up in that particular area, the language there of the Nubian people, and then the official language is Arabic. Now coming to Kenya, we have got English and Swahili, and he had no idea what these languages are. Yeah, so I had to make some arrangements to try to start from the basics, exactly from scratches.
The first time I came to Kenya, it was not easy for my uncle Adams to find a school. Yeah, he had to go from this school to the other just to find a school for me. It was not easy. Yeah, so I felt like it was a rejection, like they don't want someone like this in the school.
But I was very much encouraged because Daniel is he's a fast learner. I mean, you teach him something and he struggles with it, and all of a sudden you find he's able to get it. So in fact, when he came, he knew very little. Even reading English was a problem. He couldn't read. Okay. Yeah, then of course writing was also a challenge.
It's not easy for me, yeah, because I write using my mouth. Sometimes I get tired, my neck is paining me, so I have to leave it, relax, then I continue later.
And then meanwhile, I was walking around trying to get a school. It was not easy because you go to every school, you ask, of course you are given the admission letters, then you have to describe the kind of a child that you want to bring. Now, whenever they basically got the description, then they will tell me, now that one, no. Yeah, so I think I went to almost a record about 23, because what I know more than 20 schools looking, they all rejected him. So there's only one school, that is when I went to Starshak Academy in Athi River, that is in Machakos County. I met a very different breed of people. So I think to me they were like God sent. Yeah, then when I asked, they said, yes, we have a chance. Then I gave them the description. And they told me, even if he's somebody who is not able to walk, as long as he's alive, you bring him. Yeah, bring him, we'll try and see. So in case there's going to be any challenge, I think we can discuss when we reach there. But for now, you bring the boy. So then I brought him, they looked at him, and they said it's okay.
The first time I was just seated in class. Before I began writing using my mouth, I was like, what? Other students are writing, and I really felt bad. So I had to pick the pen and start writing with my mouth. Yeah, that was in class 6 then. So when I went to class 7, it was a bit hard for me.
Came to Kenya and joined which class?
He joined class 6. He joined class 6. In fact, I thought maybe even it would take him to class 2. But, I told the teachers now, because of his age and this challenge, so we are like, let's try here. If it doesn't work in 6, we'll take him back to class 5. If it doesn't work, we'll take him. But when he went to class 6, he developed a method of writing, and he started writing using his mouth. Puts the pen in the mouth, he writes. And he was, I can say, he was he was very persistent. Basically, exactly. And he was able to write very good handwriting, even compared to the people who are using their hands. And then he tried to improve on the speed. The challenge was he was getting a lot of, the neck was getting tired because his neck is not naturally designed for that work. The first exam they did, he was able to get more than half. That is more than 250 out of 500, because they are doing basically 5 subjects. And he maintained that. Later on, he started playing football in school. Yes, and it's like every child in school wanted to be associated with him.
Because
Yeah,
he was a bit unique.
exactly. He was very unique and he's outgoing. Daniel is very social. Yeah, so he was able to do his KCP in 2019 and he got 311. I think among the persons of disability, especially of his nature, he was actually like the first one in the entire country, because in terms of people who had that physical disability, and I don't think there was anybody that year who had a disability of his magnitude. I mean, writing, you can imagine you are writing insha, you are writing composition using your mouth. In fact, he didn't write the insha because you're saying he was tired. Yeah, but still, at least he was able to get 311. So which means if he could have written composition and insha properly, probably even he could have gotten more marks. Every place I went, I remember one of the places that I really got discouraged was a school in Kalimoni. Like, they rejected politely. But that one, in fact, the day I left, when I was leaving that place, I was really so discouraged. Yeah, because when I shared with the principal, okay, he said, okay, 311, I think that is good marks because we normally take up to 280. So with 311, yeah, even he gave me the fee structure. Then I disclosed the peculiarity or the peculiar characteristics of my student. Then later on he told me, now I'm going to discuss with the board members and the other staff, so you can come back next week to be able to get the final report. Now, because they had already given me the admission letter, unlike the previous schools, I had hopes that probably this school will take him. And again, based on the fact that the school is near, I can easily reach it from Nairobi. I actually had a lot of hopes and prayed that God will give me favor with these people and they'll accept this board. Now, come that day, when I called the principal, he didn't take my calls. And I assumed maybe he's busy. So I decided to go there physically. The reception was not as warm as it was previously. When I came, and he told me, I'm sorry, that guy, probably I think you have said he has already done KCP. You don't need to struggle to take him to high school. I think that one is enough for him, and with that form of disability, the school cannot take him, and I don't think you can ever find a place ya kumpeleka. He was so negative. Yeah, he was so negative. After going to the 14th school, so my mind now got focused on a certain school in Malindi. I talked to somebody there, then I went there. They accepted. I did the description, considering that this is kind of a disability that came after he had already been born, because he was a normal person. He used his two hands well, and it would not be good to classify him. When I take him to the other end, even his morale and his self-esteem will be lowered. I want him to be in a challenging environment where he can try to do things that the other people are doing. That will encourage him even to want to do more.
What about doing his personal things like washing?
Washing is a challenge. That's why I took him there with another boy who had already gotten used to him. They were friends previously in the primary school where he was. Because always he needs somebody who can help him to do the washing. Yeah, bathing, he does it with a shower, but then he might need maybe somebody to help probably rub part of his back where he cannot reach. Yeah, so that's why I'd actually talk to the other family so that that boy will be helping him to do things like washing.
Like, I have somebody who helped me in maybe eating, yeah, and also maybe to take shower, yeah.
And it feels sometimes you you need to do it on your own?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like doing it myself.
He can use the computer?
Yes, he types using the computer.
Wow.
Yes, he can use the computer. Yeah, so he has a computer that he uses. Unfortunately, most of the schools,
He just uses the hands?
yes,
The,
yeah, he just uses yeah, the portions of his hand and he's able. Like he has a phone, just like mine, and he's able to.
to use them?
He's able to use the phone, he's able to send messages. The major challenge is that most schools in Kenya do not have an ICT infrastructure, basically that can be able now to support such kind of people.
I was telling other people that I can sing. So, but then others did not believe in me. They were like, you cannot sing.
So you wanted to prove them wrong?
So, Uncle Chris Adams believed in me. So he took me to studio and I recorded my first song. God's time is always the best. Focus on your future and leave the rest. Life is a journey with so much obstacles, hardship, celebration, and special moment. But you must face them to experience happiness. I remember my life back in the days. I had so much pain, but I never gave up. God is in control. You must believe in Him. So whoever sees me writing using my mouth, you should also do it. Yeah, not give up.
I pray that anyone who is watching
Yes.
will be able to be encouraged, because many of us, we have hands and legs, but
Yes.
we cannot use them well.
Exactly.
We have someone who doesn't.
Yes.
Making good use of his life.
Yes.
So it is our prayer that people will be encouraged by Daniel's
Yeah,
story.
they'll be encouraged.
They will learn from it.
Yes.
And even the government will come in.
And even we are willing, like, should there be people probably who want to be encouraged? We are willing. I mean, if people maybe want us even like to pay them a visit, Daniel has got a very encouraging story, motivating. He's able to encourage basically other people, and if there are people probably also who are willing to be part of our cause of trying to reach out and I mean to be able to help such a people like him to be able to realize their dreams, we welcome them basically to partner with us, not necessarily in the area of finance, but in any other thing that somebody would be willing basically to do, at least to make a difference in the lives of such a children, so that at least we can be able to give them new hope and to make this world a better place.